I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. I'm at Marbury High School, joined by head football coach, Coach JB Wallace, and head coach of the Marbury Bulldogs, who are in the first round of the playoffs this week, heading up to Briarwood. And, you know, Coach, you came in here, I talked to you before the year, and I could tell being here that the culture was changing and the attitude about football. You know, talking to one of your other players and hearing how he was talking about it, you could just kind of tell. But it's translated, and you guys have gone out and played good football, sitting at 6-4, and you know, really turned a lot of heads. I think game one, when you guys went up to Montevallo and handled them the way that you guys did, and held them to 14 points, and offense has been able to score a lot. How important was that game one win for this team to, you know, really go out and play the way they did and really see all their hard work coming to fruition?
Well, I think it was definitely important, especially in the fact that when we painted a picture for them as a staff of where we wanted to be this time of year and where we wanted to go, how we're going to change things. And sometimes a kid won't understand what you're saying until he sees it. So all the hard work and the preparation that they did, you know, they kind of reaped some rewards from it on that first game against a very good team. And so therefore, you know, by them seeing that they were willing to buy in and really take it a step further. And that's what it's all about. How much can you know, get better throughout the course of the year.
How impressed were you with your group after that first game?
I was impressed. You know, first year coming in, and there's still a lot of things that we do have to improve on, but to see them work and take that big of a step that early, you know, that was reassuring on my standpoint as the head coach, and also as a staff. It was very reassuring that they were able to take the small, minute details that we were teaching and apply them the best that they could, and gave us a little room to get better.
Obviously, you know, you can't just come in and just, you know, change. I mean, you could have gone, I guess, 10-0 this year, but odds of that happening were very, you know, low. And did you ever, were there points during the year where you could kind of say, you know, oh, I can kind of see, you know, they still haven't gotten to that point where they can be consistent and be, you know, every single week doing the right thing?
Yeah, you know, we're all creatures of habit, and when you do things for so long, you tend to always go back to those things. And so along the way, we had to change some of the things that they were doing to fit what we do. I'm not necessarily saying they're wrong, that's just not how we do it. And so we did have to change a couple of those things moving on throughout the season. But the biggest thing that I think helped us the most, we took the worst case scenario and we told them, we said, listen, you know, new staff here, we're building something different. This is what the expectations are from everyone else. And the key to it is that we're not everybody else. We're at Marbury. So it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, it matters what we think. But they think this is going to happen. And we just kept that in front of them. And, you know, they would look at me and, no, that's not going to be us. I said, well, guess what? You can say it, but until you go out and play and work and get it done on game day, it really doesn't matter. So we always kept open line communication, and we put the expectation out there that everybody else would set for us. And we set the bar higher than that, and we pushed to get there. And I think that's what helped us out tremendously.
You know, obviously being a new staff, I mean, you guys had guys in certain positions at the beginning of the year. I'm sure that you've had to maybe adjust and move some guys around after getting to actually see them in game time. How long do you really think that it took for this team to really find themselves and really find their identity this year?
I think probably game 6 or so. I think when we played against Central Tuscaloosa, I think after that game we kind of had a real good idea of where we wanted to be and who we were as a team. You know, we had a idea who we wanted to be, and we didn't necessarily, you know, do the things that we felt like we wanted to do, but we had to do what we can do. And so about that game, we found out exactly who we were, what we were, and what we need to do to get to that point to get our guys in the best situation they can to make some plays. And so I think that was the turning point of where we wanted to be. Actually won that game on the last play of the game. You know, so that was a huge, because that could have gone any way.
Yeah.
and that running back that had over there, Leatherwood, he definitely put the team on his back. And so we called on our guys to basically, you know, hold them out long enough and let's get some stops early in the game and get our offense the ball. And they showed up, and it came down to the last play of the game where Jesse scrambled and made a play, and we scored and won. So that in itself, I think that was the turning point of where we wanted to be.
Obviously, a close win can help, you know, boost a team, but is there any loss that you kind of look at that you can say, you know, well, that may have been a good loss for us that we were able to really learn a lot from?
I think every loss we took this year, after watching the film with our team, and they looked at the situation and they realized how we lost, what did we not do well or what did we do well, I think every one of them was very crucial to us developing into a team that we want to be. So I can't pinpoint just one of them, but they all were very crucial in us learning how to play at the level, because the teams that beat us are playing at high levels.
Yeah.
And so we want to play, we want to get to where they are, and of course we want to surpass it, but we got to get there first, and we got to take it by baby steps, and so every one of them definitely played a role.
Is there a team that you guys played this year that you feel like, gave you a good challenge that you can look back on and say, that game has really helped prepare us for what we're about to face this Friday?
Every one of them. I think every one of the games. There was not a game this year where we were able, and of course looking at where we came from is quite obvious, but we couldn't step into a game and say, all right guys, we got to get them focused here, we're playing against a lesser opponent. No, we were the lesser opponent. We are that team that we go on the road, and unfortunately we were homecoming. So that's just part of it. But, our guys knew that coming in, and I told them that in April. This is what you're going to have to deal with. And, a lot of times you don't have flexibility of who you put as homecoming. But if I got a choice, I'm going with the 0-10 team, if I got a choice. And so our guys kind of took that, and it was a chip on their shoulder, and they embraced it. And they, they worked hard, and they said, Coach, we don't want to be homecoming anymore. I said, well, guess what? You better start winning then. You better start winning as a team, winning with class, and doing the little things right. And that's been the biggest struggle, if we've had any this year, is just them understanding the details. Even looking at our opponent this week, I know that's the team that plays with details. So it was a good measuring stick to our guys and saying, the details, there you go. That's what you're seeing, the details. That's how they play, and that's how we got to play. And we've gotten better at that every week. Now they realize every little thing we talk about, it matters. Everything matters.
Yeah.
So they're starting to realize that.
Obviously, you want to win the game this week. You want to win out and win a state championship. But just making it here to this point, how important is being in a playoff now and advancing in year one, for you and what you're trying to build here at Marbury?
I think the most exciting thing about that is just the seniors getting a chance to experience it. They've gone through a whole lot, and it ain't always been good, So for them to be able to come in and make the first round of playoffs and play and go 1-0, man, that's been huge. And as a coach, I'm looking at it, I'm excited for them. But one thing I do see, we make it clear, we're not going to be satisfied. We're not going to be complacent. This isn't where we want to finish. We want to go 1-0. Let's see what the next one is, but let's handle this one first. So, as a staff, I don't think we've allowed them to get that sigh of relief. We did it. No, we didn't do anything. We hadn't done anything yet. We just reached the goal that we set for ourselves. So we talked about creating our future, or predicting the future. How do you do it? You create it. And that's what we said. So in the future, we want to do this, this, and this. These are the things we're going to do this, this, and this. So they bought into that. And so we're not going to let them get that sigh of relief. It's 1-0. Everybody's 0-0 right now. We want to go 1-0. So we don't care if you're ranked 1 or ranked 32. We're all in this thing 0-0 right now. So that's kind of how they're looking at it.
Obviously you spent time at Prattville, and the time that Prattville was on a huge run and winning championships and getting to play late in the postseason. How important are these extra practices for your younger guys and trying to develop them for the future?
Oh, it's crucial. I mean, you start adding that because some people have seasons, they're over right now. So there's no football going on there where we actually get an extra 4 days of preparation, and then we make it to the next round. That's 8 days. So the more days you get, the more preparation you get for your young guys, the more snaps they play, the more ready they are in the spring. And then ultimately, what you get done in the spring will dictate how the first part of your season is going to go. And so those guys will know the expectations of where you want to go, and you don't be satisfied with it. I don't care if you win them all. That's where it wasn't a problem. After you win it all, what do? You go win another one, and this is what it's going to take. He's not going to be here to carry the team anymore. That player's not going to be here. It's on you. And this is what we need from you. So it was a clear line of communication, but I was kind of spoiled being there because there was so much success and I was surrounded by such great coaches. And I knew they were great coaches, but until you go to other places and you're surrounded around other staff, sometimes you don't realize what you have. And I'm sitting there, and on that staff, I think everybody on that staff either became a head coach and was successful at it or coached on the college level. And so it was surrounded by a great group of guys. So it'll spoil you. But going to other places, you get to where you start appreciating every little win you get and the process of building it.
Playing Briarwood this week, it's a good opponent, a really good team, and as a team that going into the year, a lot of people pegged as a potential contender for a championship, and they've put themselves in position to host. And what do you see from them that has allowed them to give other teams some difficulties? What's going to make them difficult for y'all? But then, what do you also see that you feel like hey, we can match up maybe in these areas?
Well, I think exactly what you said. A team that can contend for that is exactly who they are. They're talented, a different kind of talent. They're very coachable, so that tells me, and they're coached up, so that tells me their coaching staff is doing a tremendous job with them. You very rarely see them out of position. They're always in position. There's always someone there to contest every ball that's thrown, and when you're running the ball, you're going to have to be perfect on double team and get to the next level and just securing your block. So, very, very disciplined team, and I think the advantage that we could have is, we're trying to be who they are, but we're going to try to do some things that they may not be comfortable in defending, and even on defense, some things they may not be comfortable doing. So I think our kids understand why we're doing what we're doing, and I think that may be the thing that's going for us. Our kids understand why we're doing. We're not just lining up to play ball. This is why we're doing what we're doing, and they're understanding that finally. So definitely going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a good game. We know we're up against a very talented team, very good team. So we just got to make minimum mistakes if we want a chance to win it.
What is your message to your team now on how to handle this, how to handle a spot that they're not used to being in, and going up and now having this challenge?
I think something that I've never really been a fan of before. We try to give our kids the way to think about all the aspects of the game, but with this team, with so much negative that's been around beforehand, and then now we're getting positive, we're having to give them tunnel vision. I mean, we don't want them seeing all that. We want them seeing that right there. So we've kind of preached, and as a staff, we give them tunnel vision. This is what we're looking at. I don't care about what the media say about this or what. I don't care. This is what we're looking at. So just having tunnel vision and realizing that this is our goal. This is what we got to do to get there, and that's what they've been focusing on. And we don't talk a lot about what they say or who they. We don't care about that. We just care about what we have to do to get it done.
Well, Coach, congratulations on good regular season so far, and getting your team to this point. I wish you guys nothing but luck this week. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go for y'all on Friday and around the state. And it's the best time of year. It's postseason time, and y'all have put yourselves in position to contend. So congratulations, and I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yes,